In this video, you will learn the two basic techniques of wound closure. There are different types of wound closure techniques. A few to mention is simple interrupted suture, continuous suture, vertical and horizontal mattress suture, and the subcuticular suture. In this video, you will learn the simple interrupted suture and the continuous suture on the chicken skin. You should already know how to engage the needle to your needle holder, so I will not show in this video. We will suture from the apex downwards. First, use your two forceps to grip the apex of the wound. Drive your needle 90 degrees into the skin, approximately 5 mm away from the wound, and use your wrist to insert the needle according to the curvature of the needle. Make sure the needle exits from the wound and switch to the non-toothed forceps to handle the needle. Release the ratchet of your needle holder and take out the needle with your forceps and re-engage the needle with your needle holder. Then switch back to your toothed forceps and take another bite horizontal from your initial bite, approximately the same distance. Then switch to your non-toothed forceps again to take out the needle and pull the longer end until the shorter end is about 5 cm. Put down the needle into the styrofoam and perform the surgeon's knot. Take a comfortable length from the longer end of the suture. Then put your instrument against the suture from inside to outside. First loop twice and take the shorter end of the needle into the loop and across. Make sure you cross your hands. So that the suture will properly sit on the wound. And repeat the same from inside to outside, but this time one loop. In this case, I have placed the knot on the left side. And loop once more from the inside to outside of the wound and take the shorter end of the suture across. Use your scissors to cut 1 to 2 mm above the knot. This is one complete simple interrupted suture. Repeat this until you have approximated the wound edges. A good approximation should result in eversion of the wound edges. This is supposed to improve wound healing. The continuous suture is a wound closure technique whereby there will not be any interruption of cutting the sutures. First, perform the usual simple interrupted suture, but do not cut the suture after you have performed the surgeon's knot. After the surgeon's knot, cut the shorter end of the suture, about 1 to 2 mm above the knot. Then take a bite 1 mm below the first bite and exit through the opposite edges across horizontally. Continue your next bite diagonally and bite across horizontally. Continue this until you have approximated the wound edges. At the end of the wound, leave one loop of the suture free, like this. Perform the surgeon's knot with the free loop as the shorter end of the suture. Cut the suture approximately 1 to 2 mm above the knot. The differences between the simple interrupted suture and the continuous suture is time, security, and when to perform the sutures. Simple interrupted suture is usually performed in shorter wound, whereas the continuous suture is performed in a longer wound.